Hello. Let me check myself. Ooh. Where's my phone? I'll tell people I'm live. Hold on. Just been making notes. Phone. Tell people I'm live. Anusha is live. Got a secret, gotta keep it. Na 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 na. You know, lock it in your pocket. Do 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 do. By the way, you don't want my medical information. I'm going live. Hello. Just telling people I'm live before I get started. Give people a minute or two to filter in. Let me know how your day was. Let me know how you're feeling, all that kind of jazz. Yeah. First time I've done this by myself for a very long time. So excuse the jankiness if there is any. Let me just tell Instagram that I'm here. I am here. I also sing a lot. So if you didn't know, hi, I'm Anusha. I'm a musician, singer, and vlogger. And I sing all the time. Let me just tell Twitter and then we'll get started. Elon, make your app work. Thank you. All right, you're right. So I am here and waiting. Smiley face. There you go. All right, let's get started. So I wanted to do something a bit different because on Sunday, that's usually the day I post music videos. And music videos, vloggers. Let me start again. Hi, I'm Anusha, singer, songwriter, vlogger. And usually Sunday to Monday is when I post vlogs, not music videos. But because this Saturday we've got the scapegoats party, I thought I'd be a big girl and say I don't want to overwork myself. I don't want to put out like a subpar video that I'm not really connected to just for the sake of putting out a video. So I thought I'd go live, talk about all the things I want to get off my chest. I want to talk about scapegoats. I want to talk about the scapegoats house party. And I want to talk about some situations that are coming out right now that are really making scapegoats more poignant than I originally thought when I first wrote the song. So I want to, okay, first we'll do a little bit of promo, a little bit of housekeeping. Oh, where'd you go? There you go, we're back. Obviously we've got the scapegoat house party that is tomorrow. So I realized, and I'll be so super blunt with this, I did the party a bit too early because I thought, well, my friend always does the Halloween house party DJ set, which I will put somewhere at the end of the stream, which is free to go to. And it's for people who are housebound and bedbound. It's so fun, so accessible. And they do it every year. So it was just a bit sod's law that I had a house party and they had a house party. And then my friends at the Anti-Stan Club also had a house party. So everybody had the house party at the same time. So I was a bit like, kind of had to take the earlier time. So I know that people in America, for example, are probably working. They've probably got things doing. So if you want to come, still get your ticket. It's still free if you want to be there. I just will record it for you and we'll see how that goes. So that is the first thing I want to get off my chest. Second thing, stream scapegoats. It's my single. It's out. I'm excited. I've almost got 100 streams on Spotify, which is a really exciting thing. So I wanted to talk about a bit more about scapegoats in the song and why I wrote it. So yeah, so scapegoats, or if you haven't, don't know much about me, I chose to do activism. I chose to do and music at the same time. I chose to really make my music a source of where people can get a feeling, a start of an emotion. And I talk about in a previous video on YouTube of like, I feel like it's important to do things like this because very few people even people who walk over safe, um, feel the need to archive a feeling. Like when I go to songs and I bring up Paolo Nutini as an example, and it was just an obvious example, but there are so many. When you think about like what's going on by Marvin Gaye, you might mind the pun, you might not know what's going on. You know, if you're not familiar with Marvin Gaye, you might not know the reason why he made that song, but there's a certain feeling that motivates you to sort of do some more digging, do some more information. And decided that I'm positioning myself as the artist to do that. Um, you know, disclaimer, I ain't gonna be on some Jamila Jamil shit, and I ain't gonna be like, you know, trying to exploit movements for my own sort of gain. But I'm definitely just thinking, like, you know what? I really, really, really want to go deeper into sort of activism in music and how music can be a source of, um, you know, I don't want to say hope because I don't think that's just the right thing to say, but it can be like, I want people to feel angry. I want people to feel curious. I want people to laugh. I want people to feel joy, but I want people to use me as a starting point and then continue on. So when I start, like, I think the reason why I thought that is because what the reception to Burden was, I don't want to say peculiar, but like I didn't realize how many people would like it. And there are people that still come to me now and they'll say, look, I put on Burden when I'm feeling like this or when I'm going through it. And I thought, damn, like, and especially when you're an artist, and I don't know if there's any artists in the chat, um, that makes you feel things and it does spur you on. So anyway, with scapegoats, I decided to be a bit more direct and then just said, hey, I really, really, really want to start talking about things. I started writing scapegoats and I started out with the chords in September of 2023. And then just life started to go downhill since then. So I didn't really feel the need to write more lyrics. I just thought, let's keep this direct. Let's keep this straight shooting. And I really wanted to talk about how we need to sort of let go of celebrity. We need to let go of people who want to get back to normal. Which is, if I were to sum up the song in like 5 minutes or 5 seconds, I would say this song is a criticism at people who want to get back to normal. Excuse me. But in the past couple of weeks, what I'm starting to realize is that that could be applied to so many things. There are so many things that normal could be, you know. I think like the first thing is obviously celebrity, and we're gonna get into the death of celebrity and how I kind of want people to let celebrity go. But I realized that it also required like activism. But I think people need to let go of celebrity activists. I think people need to let go of their local celebrity. Like I realize that there's no reason for celebrity to exist. And I really want us to think about it as a community, as people. And I really want people to understand that in order for there to be a normal, there needs to be an abnormal. And what happens to the people in the abnormal group? But hold that thought, I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's look at some examples. Let's look at like who I'm talking about. I mean, you know, you can start off with the simple one. You can start off with like the government. You can start thinking motorbike. You can start off with, you know, society. You know, like the very basis, you know, line is that you could talk about maybe something like COVID and say like this song is for people who chose to get back to normal for COVID. And I really do think that like a lot of I forget that how many people crave normal because if they don't have that normal, like if I have to reference scapegoats, um, was now you say will the threat so you can forget the bodies that lay cold. And it's like you need to forget that all of the suffering, so you choose to do the maiming yourself. You want to get back to normal. Um, and I want to reference a couple of things, people, whatever. And one of them, if you've ever heard of the show Abbott Elementary, and they did an episode on ringworm, which I want to pause. I don't love Abbott Elementary. I was interested at first because the sort of sitcom, ow, did my neck in. Yay, hypermobility. Um, the sort of sitcom comedy genre ain't a bit of me, right? But at the same time, I was excited because black people and black people. But I think you got to realize one, all skin folk and kinfolk, and again, celebrity, you know, what is that going to be, even if Quinta did start off being a YouTuber herself? And I watched the first season and I thought, okay, I like the guy that played Zach. He was funny. Um, but then I found out that like a bunch of the cast are Zionists, a bunch of the cast were just pricks. Quinta, was doing things with Oprah, and I thought that was peculiar, especially in 2024, when every 5 minutes someone goes, huh, Oprah, terrible person. It just kind of got me thinking, like, actually, I can't be bothered. Like, not even as background noise or not even as like a guilty pleasure. Like, I can't even support this show, like, just moralistically. And then apparently there was this episode, it was a ringworm episode, and apparently it was an analogy for COVID. And Tyler James Williams, Tyler J. Williams, I don't know that name, the guy from Everybody Hates Chris, did a interview, which I will probably put in the chat at some point. And he basically mentioned, like, okay, this is a thing for COVID, and he called it cathartic. And I want to read a quote. And it says, when we started the show, hold on. When we started the show, it's in the midst of the pandemic. We made the creative choice not to address the pandemic. But in this episode, it kind of gave us the opportunity to really work through what happened during that time in a comedic way. The actor shares. So I was really excited to do it because we can look at it objectively and find comedy in it. Now, knowing that Tyler Williams or whatever is a Zionist, that made the cogs turn. And there's someone on Twitter, I'm not going to say their names, I don't know if they want to be put on YouTube, but they made an amazing thread about it. But ultimately, you realize that these things are the same, because Zionism, someone who wants an ethno state and is okay with the G word, I'm not too sure if I can say that on YouTube, is okay with the G word, and they are doing what they are doing to Palestinians right now. And people who are, pro-infection, pro-maiming, anti-mask, and are maiming people, of disabled people, vulnerable people who just don't want to get sick. It's like they're one and the same. They want the same thing, a normal. What is normal? But going back to like Abbott Elementary, I'm like, the fact that you thought that the moment that he references could be funny. It's eugenics. That's right, it's eugenics. And it's like, I don't even, and I think the thing is, like, if you want to take a step back, like, I like dark humor. I like shitty things. You don't ever punch down, in my opinion, and I don't think you ever make fun of people who died or who got maimed and whose life has continued to change because of COVID. But then I go that step further, and then I ask ourselves, why would they do that? Why would they do that? Because if they are the celebrity class and you could say like the artist class, the actor class, why do they feel the need to do that and make fun? It's almost as if they are mimicking messaging that is from the government, and from society at large, and they are reflecting on that, and they are punching down at people who are trying to protect themselves from infection. It's giving they are trying to mimic and the line of eugenesis. Because you think about how many people will be watching Abbott Elementary. It's on public TV. And that's why I say we need to let go of normal. Like, normal needs to go, because like that can't run. Like, that normal Abbott Elementary, normal, usual TV show thing, it can't run anymore. I think we need to cut it out at this point. And our celebration of people like Quincy, like Tyler something Williams, I can't remember his middle name, but I don't care to look it up. Like, insert anyone that is involved with that show and who feels the need to mimic this sort of like messaging for comedy, because what does it get them? Right, so we're gonna put a little pause there, because as soon as I announced this live, which again I thought, let me just do a little fun live. We talk about scapegoats, we talk about my music. People started to act a fucking fool on the internet. It's almost like they knew. They knew Anusha was going to chat, and they needed to give me some content to talk about. So I'm going to do like a speed run, because like I want to do a speed run. I'm not going to lament all this, because I could do a deep dive. I'm not going to, but it will kind of prove my point of what I'm talking about. So follow me here, and I'm doing a teacher thing, but this is my little koala bear. Yeah. So, and I had to write this down because, like I said, it was last minute. So Lady Gaga, if you don't know, artist, very big. They did a tour during, I think it was last year or the year before, and they admittedly were performing with COVID. They literally said it out loud. And there was one person who was in the crowd, and they were at the front, and apparently they got COVID, and I think like one of their relatives passed. I'm not sure, but it was like, Lady Gaga, and the amount of times Lady Gaga has just come and said, "Yeah, I've got COVID," and what? Also a Zionist. There's a link there. Sorry, I should have added a trigger warning to that. I apologize, but yeah, just know that it's trigger warning for death and sickness for the next 15 minutes. Because yeah, it's gonna get a bit. And she's come out with a song today called Disease. Disease. Now, I don't know what disease is about. I don't care to find it out. But she came out with a song called Disease. Okay, next person. Someone called Clary something. They look for up on TikTok. They're a TikTok person. They do the whisper singings and whatever. Someone posted a screenshot, and they're basically pissed off at this Clario person because they've been cancelling a lot of their shows, and they're saying that their sets that they have seen, whether it's online or in person, that they've been really disappointed because they have a lot of fast songs, and in live they have a lot of slow songs. Now, I kind of want to pause there, because that also could just be lack of skill, because they are quite a new artist. So this is all speculation, that they might have long COVID, but there is a, what do you call it? There is a culture at the moment with musicians who are refusing to let go of touring, and they are just touring being sick. So they're just being, spreading their lurgies around. So I'm putting her in the list of people I'm talking about, because even if it's not long COVID, even if it is, the girl's sick, and that's not good. Now, this is a bit of a longer one, and I think this is gonna lead on to my major point of this video. Solange Knowles commented on Sean Ross's video where Sean Ross revealed that he had long COVID. And she was like, girl, me too. Yes, we're both chronically ill together. And now the Sean Ross video, if you don't know who Sean Ross is, you don't need to know. He's a model and a bit of an ableist prick. So we leave him over there. Because in the video that when he talks about having long COVID, he says, oh, but I don't want to be like those sick people. I just want to be normal. Notice the wording there. And Solange Knowles came out saying that she's sick. Now, she did get diagnosed with MCAS in 2018, but why come out with it now, for one? Maybe she's seeing where the tide is turning, I don't know. But the Knowles sisters, so Solange and Beyonce, they never do anything or say anything unless there's money involved. They don't just say anything just to be like, oh, I'm like you. No, I'm suspicious of Solange because I smell an exploitation coming, but I might be wrong, reference this video if it happens, I guess. So that's another thing. And I'm really suspicious as to why Solange just came out with this. Because I'm not saying that she should, shut up and just sing and whatever. But it's more like, again, you're a celebrity. Why are you saying these things out loud? Are you trying to, get in our good books? Is this PR? Why are you doing this? Because what is the purpose of celebrity? Who do they serve? And the last person who I want to bring up, which is a bit more of a hot topic, but I don't care because I don't really know the girl that is Stevie Nicks. So Stevie Nicks apparently did an interview with insert person, I don't really know. And a lot of people in the disabled community have been sharing it because they're like, yay, Stevie Nicks. Oh, she's on our side. She believes in wearing a mask. Yay. And to that, I want everybody to take a step back and get a grip. Because I'm not white, I don't know Stevie Nicks like that. So I'm not too sure why people have come in droves to be like, yeah, this is our person. But my thing about this whole situation is that, like, Stevie Nicks, oh, if you don't know, Stevie Nicks was basically talking about how she wears a mask. And even though people give her funny look, she's like, I don't want to get sick. I've got 15 years of life left, but other people have more, etc., etc., the usual spiel. And again, I'm just like, I want people to get a grip because, okay, she still performs unmasked. If Stevie Nicks was that big and bad, she would set up her little Zoom camera like I have. She would get her little ring light. She'd be like, okay, fam, do a little backdrop. And she would be like, I'm going to just sing you the bops. I'm going to sing you the tunes from my bedroom. You're Stevie Nicks. You can still sell tickets. People will still come and see you. You're not that big and bad. And it goes to show that there's also like being like people position celebrities and they say like, wow, celebrities, I see this tweet a lot. They have access to all these resources. They have access to all these things. True. Do they know how to use them though? Do they know how to use these resources? Because if you're masking before a show and then you go on stage, there's a bunch of people you don't know who's sick or not. And then you come off stage, put your mask back on. You still could get sick. You still could get very, very sick. So, again, why do you need a savior? Let's take a tangent here ever so quickly. Why do we need saviors in the disabled community? I messed it up. Why do we need saviors in the disabled community? Why do we need a spokesperson? No shade to that person's daughter. I can't remember her name because, again, I don't really follow white people like that. No shade to that person's daughter. Good for you for speaking up. The one. I want to say Ben Affleck. Insert white person here. Maybe their name is Violet. I don't know. But why do we need a spokesperson? Why do they need to be white, for one? But why do we need a spokesperson? We don't. And I feel like a lot of people in the disabled community are playing into celebrity culture, even though they, protest to say that I don't like celebrities, I dislike what they stand for, they, their tours or whatever have, sheltered me and ruined my life, whatever. But when one celebrity just says something in the vein of something that you like, you suddenly are like, rah, that's my girl, that's my whatever. And I've seen people across the spectrum say this. Oh, it's Violet Affleck. There you go. I was there. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I know people. But why do we need a spokesperson? We don't. We honestly don't. And it really angers me because I think I'll get on to sort of Patterson in a second. But I think people want a spokesperson because it means that they don't have to do less. It means they don't have to do the work. Because if I get, hey, that person will do it, great. I can fuck off now. That's what it gives me anyway. Because you need a celebrity to be one of the good ones. Let's take a step back and think, actually, we need to get rid of the celebrity class because they are agents of the state. They did this in the first place. The amount of celebrities that are touring who could have not, but also who could have influenced structural change. But I don't expect that from celebrities because celebrities work for the state. They are the ones who push normal, and normal means. And that is the thing that I want people to really sit with. Even the celebrity that you like, it could be AOC, which at this, again, AOC, get rid of her. Who never liked that girl. But it could be, someone who's seen as one of the good ones. Get rid of them. Because one, on a basic level, they will always disappoint you. But then you've got to ask, who are they serving? What are they doing for the people who cannot afford a normal? And I think that is something that is really, like, that's why scapegoats hit home for me, because I was writing, just, it wasn't really personal, but I was kind of writing generally, but I was starting to really put it into situations and be like, yeah, this makes sense. And it felt bigger. And I'm going to go more about it. Little plug. I'm going to go more into it tomorrow. If you can't make the Scapegoats house party, don't worry. You can still watch it back like you're watching it now. I'm going to put this sort of Q&A because I'm going to go more into Scapegoats. If you like lit reviews, this might be for you. I'm going to go into Scapegoats and sort of what I plan to do in the future and my artistic practice and why I do what I do tomorrow. So I will put the link for the tickets somewhere at the end, and hopefully you'll get them. But yeah, and it's also free, so come down. But if you're into that kind of stuff, I'll go more into that tomorrow. But yeah, it felt bigger because I was just seeing it everywhere. I was seeing normal everywhere. And hold on, let me get my notes. Yeah, that's really it. And I think with the disabled community and the chronic illness community, and this is me being a bit cynical here, we need to be careful of charlatans. We need to be really careful of people who are charlatans. And I'm talking big level, I'm talking people who are stealing, I'm talking minor. Because I keep seeing it happening. And it, again, this is personally, because I'm not going to blame people for being groomed into a situation that then, they have to come back from. I will never do that. But what I will say is I'm seeing a pattern of people who are relying on people's word and relying on people's image and whatever because they are just saying the right thing, and they're giving you a bit of a crumb of setting. They're giving you a good TikTok. They're giving you a good like Instagram reel, something that you can post, which I think desirability comes into that as well. And it means that you feel good about yourself and you feel validated. And as someone who is Black, has grown up in poverty, I really want us to sit with the fact that, like, not like, why do you need to be validated? Because that's a bit too harsh, but like, why do you need someone desirable to validate you? Why do you need someone of status or whatever to validate you? Why doesn't your community do that for you and all the people around you? Because I know communities be a bit of a buzzword, but I'm still using it because, I like the people around me. Hey, but why do you need that? And I think, this is a bit of a me kicking back, chat. What's the phrase? Chatting shit, whatever, talking to shit. I'm not going to say an American phrase. I used to be part of a COVID safe group that I decided to leave because one, I wasn't being treated right, and I realized that I didn't really need people that caused me anxiety to essentially do the work with, quote unquote. But ultimately, I realized that they needed validation from other people of status. And it was getting away with the shit that needed to get done. And I just had enough. I was like, nah, I'm all right. Thank you. So, yeah, it's really depressing that even on a minor scale, like, who the fuck am I? You know, I'm seeing it even in my own community of people that they're sort of being, I don't want to say brought, but they're being groomed and teased into like, yes, we'll protect you. And it's just another iteration of normal. And then who do they, and I think I want to leave on this, who gets hurt? Because your normal is not innocent. I saw someone who I did respect. I'm still here. The thing is telling me it's out of charge. I'm just going to slowly roll away and bring the charger. And then I'm coming back. I'm coming back. But I've seen, what was I saying? I was saying something about normal. And like, yeah, a lot of the people who I used to respect online a while back, I know that whenever they get challenged, like, why do you do this? I used to think about this about my ex-roommate, and they are someone that essentially lied to me just to get housing and move to London. And I thought about, like, why they lied and why they essentially lied to my face and continued to lie to my face for a year, put me in danger, and almost like, just really just wrecked the whole of 2021, 2022. And I thought about why do you need to get back to normal? Like, I can have sympathy to a minuscule of extent because this is trauma at the end of the day. But at the same time, who are you maiming in the process of that? It's the people who are serving you. People who are so obsessed with restaurants. Like, let's take a minute here. I grew up in Berkshire. And Berkshire, you have Windsor, you have Slough, you have Maidenhead, you have Ascot, Ascot, the races or whatever. And I can tell you, 2018 to 2019, That shit was done anyway. Like, restaurant eating sucked in 2019. 'Cause I know that me and my mum used to go out almost like every weekend. Um, and we would either go to a restaurant, we'd go to a movie or whatever. That shit sucked. And like during to the end of 2019, we just stayed at home because there was nothing to do. And it's like, I'm not even asking for like, at the time, we weren't even asking for anything like major. It just sucked. And even now, with how many workers, trigger one for death, how many workers have passed away, how many workers, are have long COVID now because you want to go to a restaurant. If you want to go to a restaurant, let's go to a good one. I don't want to see your like, I went to Nando's picture on Instagram. At least go to like somewhere fancy, or is it because you're poor? That was me being mean. Um, you know, it's not just restaurants, it's tours. Because you could I know that people go to concerts to, network and escape. Trust me, I used to, you know, do it myself before 2020. Um, but for the fact that you have to almost take a loan out to go to a concert, why? Why? Who are you like my point is, who are you maiming in the process? Is it the worker? It's the person who can't leave their house. And when you go for your little jab and your little vaccine, who are you maiming in the process? It's us. It's the abnormal ones. It's the ableist language weirdos. It's the crazy ones. They're the ones that you're maiming. And they know this because, and I'm going to talk about some disabled people, um, you know, in the community. So again, this is near the end. So if you want to leave, leave. But Tinu passed away, and I am so proud of her for saying who killed her before she passed. She named it. She didn't sugarcoat it. She said, "These are the people who killed me. These are the people who maimed me." Sammy, R.I.P. Sammy, who's someone like that hurt me because that is someone who, when I got ME, they were the first person I went to for like support. I was like, what is this? What do I do? How do I pace? How do I, get on with things? And, what are the right terminology? Like they were the first person that I went to online, and they're younger than me. They're a year younger than me. There are so many people who are being maimed and are dying, and they see the eulogies. Oh, they absolutely see the eulogies. But why should they care? Because they need their normal. And like I could go more into it of like it's all capitalism and desirability. Like all of it is the same, you know. That's it. Like for the most trivial shit. Like I don't know. Hey B, how you doing? I'm gonna reply to your email, by the way. I just completely this week has been hell. For the most trivial shit. Again, if you're going to do something, go big. If you're gonna start maiming people, at the very motherfucking least, go big. Like, I don't want to see your Nando's. I don't want to see your McDonald's. We should be boycotting McDonald's. Why don't we see your McDonald's? Go big or go home. But like, I think the thing is that they see the normal. They see all of this shit happening. They see us suffering. They see us online. They watch my videos because I see them. They like them. But they don't change their behavior because they need a life. And in order for them to have a life, someone needs to suffer. And I think what is really interesting about this whole situation, and to bring it back to sort of what's going on outside of the West, I think about Haiti a lot because without like I don't want to spread misinformation because I don't know my family like that. But basically, I found out a year ago, 2 years ago, that my family descended from Haiti, Santo Domingo. You know, the bit underneath, whatever. I'm very geographically challenged. I'm not good at geography, so please correct me in the comments if I've gotten that wrong. But my family did descend from Haiti, and just learning about Haiti and learning about what they're suffering from, and learning that not only that they just suffering because they're looking at the climate of Haiti, and they're like, well, we needed people to get back to normal. So what they're doing is they are essentially telling people online what they're going to do to them. Like the soldiers and the government and the evil people, whatever. There's a bunch of rebel black people. I don't have specific names, but they're on TikTok being like, we're going to hurt you. 100,000 subscribers because we need them to get in line and get back to normal. You have to correct me. I think it's the Philippines, but correct me in the comments. The US government, boom, was sending out information, misinformation on Twitter, bots, to spread misinformation about COVID so they could step in line and get back to normal. Think about what happened in China. And they were like, I really feel sorry for Chinese people in this moment, because whenever infection comes out, is it xenophobia or sinophobia? I don't know the pronunciation of it, but it comes out in droves. And what's really upsetting is when, like, I'm not gonna be like, yay, governments, woo, whatever. No, none of that. But like, there was infection control in China for a very long time until the West was like, infection control, we can't have that. You guys need to get back to normal. And so many people passed from that. And it's like, it's gonna get worse. Because you link it to climate change, and I want to like reference my friend Petals, who said something really important. They said climate change is not only going to get worse, but so is the state. Because the state was never there to protect us in the first place. But when they run out of resources, they're going to find resources in other places, and they're going to start wiping people out. And we are seeing it everywhere. It's due to resources, whether it be monetary, whether it be like, natural resources, whether it be even like capital, just general, just societal capital, like just to say that I'm here. We are seeing so many places just wiping people out because they need the resources. And the really disgusting thing is that I think a lot of people are okay with that. I think a lot of people are okay with that. And to bring it back home in England for a second, we've got the Save Clara campaign that's going. If you don't know what that is, Clara is get someone to say S's a lot and have a lisp, and that sucks. But the Save Clara campaign, she has severe ME, and she's been institutionalized because the doctors are accusing her of, trigger warning for ableism, they are accusing her of faking it. And I sit there and I'm like, the amount of people that are, I don't want to say like draining resources of the NHS, because the NHS should just be giving everybody everything, like the amount of hoarding they do. But the amount of people that are like doctors, for example, who aren't masking and that are spreading disease, and the same people who are doing the same thing and now going to these places that vulnerable people are, And so doctors are doing the same thing. You could apply the same thing. Because you're not acting normally, you're gonna get mistreated. And we're just gonna put you away, and that's policing. You know, we're gonna get back to, what it should be, and you're gonna be locked away. That's what happens when you wanna get back to normal, is that the abnormal people suffer. And it just sucks. And like, I will say promotion of this song has been bloody hard because the when like just to give a bit of background of how it works, usually you email people and you're like, hey, I've got a song, it's about this, yeah, can you play it please? Usually they say no. But whenever I'm like writing up the little PR thing, I'm usually like, this song is about society and this situation and that situation. And I can imagine like I'm sending it to like radio station number 142. And I was like, okay, babe. So it's like, and it's not like I want that because I don't really, that's not what I want. It's just kind of the shit that you do. But it's just kind of like, wow. Like, this song is just for you lot. That's all I can say. This song is for you lot. Because like I think I just need to get something on my chest because it's just happening around all of us. And I'm not mentioning that lady, the white lady who thought she could solve ME by gardening. Because stuff her. But this is when you purport that you can also get back to normal. Like, oh, if you just do this, you could be like the other normies, not me. I did a YouTube video about the death of the third space. Get lisp. But yeah, that's all I got. Is I just needed to chat for a little bit because it just, especially musicians. That's all the script bits ended. Tell me how I did in the chat. Tell me about your day. But like, I think what like pisses me off about musicians, like especially because if you don't know, I came from a classical music background. Oh, I have my certificate here. Hold on. No, I don't. Never mind. I was up there. I can't be able to get it down. But I come from a classical music background, and in classical music, you are told it's like lesson 1. All right, make sure you have good technique. Sit up straight, which sucks because I have EDS, and it's funny how that I always used to suffer with that. Like I just couldn't stand still. Anyway, good technique, back straight, but not too straight. Good breathing, lungs, whatever. If you're sick, go to bed. And you do all these little ritual things to make yourself better. Like I was trained by a couple of people growing up, and I was trained by someone in Fife, just very, very like top of Scotland. And the amount of things that singers do to make themselves well, like, and trigger warning for disordered eating, but it's not really disordered eating. But if you have trouble with food, just know that it's coming. So like obviously you couldn't have lactose or any dairy. Just no, cut that out. So it's actually why I became vegan for a long time. But I love chocolate too much and like cheese, so I would just go back and forth. And then it would be like, okay, no sweet stuff, whatever, 6 hours before you perform. Last dinner, 4 hours before you perform. You're only having water 2 hours before you perform. This is the shit that singers do to sing. But a virus is fine. If you don't know someone, there's someone called Bernadette Peters, who I love, but I'm also like, again, I've just ranted about celebrities and whatever, so I'm going to leave her over there. But just know that she's in Cinderella, and she's very good. Someone called Bernadette Peters, and she did a performance of a song that I can't remember, and she cried throughout it because it was a really emotional song. As a singer, nah, she had to re-record it. You don't cry when you sing, and if someone's crying when they're singing, let's believe they are struggling through that song. Because what it is like, to get all sciencey, like when you cry, you have phlegm, and it's like your sinuses and here and whatever gets all phlegmy. You can't have that when you sing. You want your voice to be clear. You want your voice to be strong and whatever. Again, I think there is a bit of eugenics in that. Like, again, I think there's disordered eating in a lot of singers. Um, I eat Adele, and then Beyonce is another one. So I don't, subscribe to all of it. Like, again, I like chocolate. I'm literally looking at a chocolate bar right now. But I do protect my voice. I like singing, and I'm good at it. So, like for example, this stream is only going to be an hour and a bit. I've got to talk tomorrow. Cutting it. I ain't going over because I like my voice. And it's interesting because to serve capitalism, we're getting a lot of singers now who are just doing things that are just so like, you wouldn't do that. Like, when the hell would you sing with a virus? Like, I remember with Cheryl Cole, she got like, was it hand and mouth? Or was like, she got something. Maybe it was a boat. She got something. Like, she got some like, virus. And mind you, Cheryl Cole, when, no shade to the girl, but like, when I'm not here for a vocals, I'm here for a dancey dance. She said, I'm cutting that shit. I'm staying in bed. I need to get better. Like, and I know singers have always sung sick, like I've watched documentaries of singers singing sick, but that wasn't really the norm. And it's interesting that a lot of singers are pushing themselves to be seen and be heard. Doesn't matter if they're being heard well, but they need to be heard because it's like, I need that capital. And I think there's a lot to that. I think Spotify is one thing because I almost have 100 streams on Scapegoats right now. Yay! I made 30p. And that's before taxes. 30p. So if a singer who is probably a lot bigger than me is, got like 2 million streams, that's not actually that much in the grand scheme of things. So I think a lot of singers are just rather than being brave and saying like, I'm gonna do a virtual show or I'm gonna connect with my fans in a different way. A lot of people are like, well, I'm just gonna put all my morals out the window and do X, Y, Z. And I just, wow. And I think, like, even to get a little bit, not, I wouldn't say conspiracy theory, but to kind of look forward a bit, I think a lot of singers know this. I don't think a lot of them have the lexicon to say what I just said, but I think they know this. And I think a lot of singers are doing this because they know that I don't want to say their time is up, but they know that time is limited until something changes. But no artist wants to be the one to change it, big or small. Even the artists who are on Twitter and are talking about COVID, I still do wonder. And I'm debating about doing a music video about music video. I keep saying music video. I'm debating about doing a vlog about this. You can have your whole crowd mask, but if you're not masked on stage and you're inside and it's completely packed, and people are taking their masks off to drink, because not everybody has the same sort of COVID practice. Maybe people are taking their masks out outside. Outdoor transmission is a thing. How is that safe? Or safer? There are these words that keep being touted online of like, this is safer, this is safe-ish, this is safe adjacent. And I'm like, it's still not safe. And I don't feel the need, or I don't feel the desire to have a safe-ish concert for like 200 quid. That ain't even paying rent, fam. That ain't even paying, that's like 2 weeks of shopping for me. Like food shopping. I don't see the point in that. But I think singers know this. So they're doing the little bits that they can now. So when, I don't think it's actually, you know what, let me back it up a second. I don't think that the tide is going to change. I I don't think the tide is going to change where it comes to like COVID, because I think because people use like HIV and AIDS, trigger warning for that, but people use HIV and AIDS as an example of like, well, people learned and things got better. No medicine happened. But it took 10 to 20 years for people to even be like, oh, so AIDS is bad. And then even now, if I were to go to a relative and say, look, I have HIV, with all the information that's out there is still stigmatism. So no, I don't think we're gonna ever get to a point where with COVID especially, people are gonna go, oh, I get it's bad now. No, I think just people need to force people's hands and be like, you will protect me, or we're shunning you. But I do think there will be a point where practices will change, and I do think that there will be a point where there will be more structures and we'll have more understanding and things like that. And what will happen is, I think that in that point, then like celebrities will kind of, and people of note, I should say, will grasp onto that, and then they'll try and exploit and make money off in that way. Like whether it be VR, which is virtual reality, whether it be like the resources for virtual reality gets a bit better. I mean, again, what's going to happen in 20 years? I don't know. But like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think that there will be a change in something and people will just grasp onto that. I don't think society as a whole will change because it's never changed. It's just adapted. It's like more reformed. When does reformed ever work? You know, and like to keep it not ha funny, but to keep it a bit light, I was gonna do a timeline for the ex COVID group I joined, and I was looking at a article. I want to say it's from the Times. It was a fuddy-duddy British paper, and I talk about cholera. This was from the late 1800s, early 1900s, late 1800s, and they'll talk about cholera. Which cholera is bad. So in the Times, someone proposed, like, hey, maybe we should clean the water. Let's put a fountain in London so people can have clean water. Just one fountain, fam. And you know what? We could go a step further and clean the sewage system. What do you think the Times said? Oh, thank you for being here, Elle. I really appreciate it. And that's what I'm saying. We need each other, like, because we are all we got. But yeah, what do you think the Times said? They were like, I want my dirty water. I want my sewage water. What is a sewage system gonna do? Think about the economic implications. Think about this and that. Cholera. And I was reading it and I was trying to compare, because obviously, a lot of times things are behind paywalls now. So I was comparing it to like certain articles that were available to me. And I wanted to laugh, but it was so depressing because this shit is the same. But that also should give you a bit of confidence as well. Because look, I don't want to say like, we'll survive this, we'll get through this, because God, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get through this. But what I do know is that people have gotten through it before and we'll get through it again. Because people's worlds have ended before, but did they end with it? And it's going to be hard. And I'm not saying, again, I'm not going to try and be like, yeah. But that gave me a bit of, oh, okay. So people have been idiots for the past like 1,000 years. Okay, cool. We can move. So yeah, I think like, geez, it depresses me in music because like, I know I'm not the only musician that works like this. I know, I'm friends with them. I work with other musicians who work remotely, who work virtually, who do these kind of streams, do these sort of things. But it's depressing at times because like when it's like the little things for me. I don't know about you lot in the chat, but it's for me. It's the little things. It's the oh, like for example, I am the friendliest person. I'm very mean today. I'm very mean online, but I'm very friendly, in person. And I love talking to strangers. It's my favorite thing to do. Like, if like there is someone, like back in the day when you'd be in life setting, and like, I do this in the pharmacy a lot. Do you know, like when someone's arguing in the pharmacy, and they're like, "Where's my medication?" Blah blah blah. I'll be sat there in the back like, And you know what? There is a shortage of this. See, I work for. Yeah, I actually know this. So you know what? And I'm such an instigator. I love it. I'm that person. Or like I'm the person that I will see a neighbor and I will just start a conversation with you. But can I do that anymore? And it's like I'm finding the little things hard because my instinct is to be like, conversation. I'm like, no, oh no, I can't do that. Even if I'm always masked, even like as soon as I open the front door, I'm always masked. But it's still like, no, I ain't doing that. And that just really sucks. It's the little things for me. I don't know about anybody else, but it's the little things that really bothers me. It's why I think I got into vlogging because I do like, not to be egotistical or whatever, but I do like hearing the sound of my own voice. I do like talking. I do like talking to other people. I said I do like talking to strangers. So I think vlogging was like the next step for me. But damn, like it's the little things that I'm like, you really took this away from us. Boy. My mum has sent me, in the space of an hour, my mum has sent me like 20 TikToks. my mum's coping mechanism is TikTok. She loves it there. All right. But yeah, I don't know how you lot are feeling right now. I don't know how you lot are coping, or if you are coping. I am very blessed to have a family that cares. Because I think if my family, like my extended family, can go suck eggs, but my mum and my brothers, they do truly care, even if it's not perfect. It's a start, and I really appreciate them for what they do, and it's spurred me on. But even if you don't have that, if you don't have that at home, if you don't have that, just know. Oh, there's another one. Just know that you are so loved by people, and like even if like it's just that one person with like the random you know AV online or something like that, like you are so loved. It's kind of funny. I'll leave. I'm gonna leave in about 5 minutes because I haven't. I need to look after myself because I've got. Oh, plug! Escape Goes house party tomorrow. If you want more of this and you want more of Anusha, chatting the shit, so to speak, come to the Scapegoats house party. I'm going to put the ticket link in the comments. Buy tickets. There you go. And then say select tickets. And if you want, I said it's free. And if you want to pay it forward, because there's going to be 2 of my friends who are helping out, and they are going to be. There's going to be like a venting room and a chat only room. So if you aren't good with screens for a very long time, there'll be a chat only room where you can just chat and just not have the screen on, and that's going to be there for the whole night. And if you have like something inside that you want to chat about, you can also go to the venting room, but just know that will involve a lot of trigger warnings. And yeah, the tickets are free, but if you like I said, if you want to pay it forward, I have 2 people helping out and I want to pay them. So like I'm not getting paid for this, but like I want to pay my friends. So and if you want a discount, if you just want to put Scapegoats 20 into the little code thing, but remember it's case sensitive, so it's like that. If you put Scapegoats 20 at checkout, you can get £2.50 off your ticket. But yeah, so just know that, like I said, I'm here and you're so loved. And yeah, it's just like every so often I get reaffirmed by you lot and by my community online. Especially because like outside of music, one thing I love is I love music archiving. And one of the things I'm archiving at the moment is something called Behind the Music. And it's a show that I watched, which I might do it again. I'll rewatch this video and I'll write all the things I said I'm going to make a vlog about. But I actually wanted to become a musician because I watched Behind the Music so much. And I would actually try and find all the episodes and just watch them from front to back. I think the episode that did it was Selena Quintanilla. If you don't know her, she is Tehan. No, I can't again pronunciation. Tehana Music. She like was so smiley and like just so like grounded, you know. And I would see her and I'd be like, damn, I want to be like you. And yeah, really, really, really impressed me. And so I was like, I mean, I'm not singing Tana music because I don't know how to, and I don't cultural appropriate here. We don't cultural appropriate here. But yeah, I wanted to be like her. But anyway, I'm trying to find Behind the Music episodes. But the other hobby that I have is I love soaps. They are my favorite medium. I love soaps. I love the campiness of it all. I love following a storyline for like months. I love the conclusion. I like if there's no conclusion, it still goes on. Like how many wives has Ian Bill had? 15 at the moment. Like I love shit like that. It's my favorite thing. And I think to get a little bit meta, and before I go, there is this something my friend Jay said to me is that soaps are considered to be for the disabled and elderly, and you know I fit one of those categories. And it's interesting because a lot of like storylines are catered to that group or those groups, and it is so interesting. Like one day I'll write about it or do a video about it because it's so interesting to see like how they are you coming? Oh, babes, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. And don't be nervous. Like, it's going to be like this. It's just this, but just on Zoom. It's going to be like this. Oh, yay. I'm excited. But yeah, sorry, I got distracted. But yeah, a lot of soaps, like they're doing storylines on disability, and they always do a storyline on, you know, older people and like so their plight and things like that. So it's such an interesting it's such an interesting event. It's such an interesting state of affairs, soaps. But like PB is doing a remix for Burden for me. And one of the things that like made my heart like flutter is they were like, oh yeah, you watch that EastEnders program, don't you? And I'm like, oh my god, I'm known. I feel known. I just chat like if I was a musician and I didn't have to be in this professional state, so to speak, like if I didn't have to perform in a certain way, I would just be an EastEnders stan account that likes music every so often. Like that would be me. You would see me with I wouldn't have an Ian Bill profile picture. I'd probably have like a Cat Slater profile picture. But you would see me just, you know, that's the police coming to get me. You would see me in being a fool online, and it just makes my heart warm that like people see me like they see my hobbies. Like, I've liked EastEnders since like 2009, 2008, and you know, just to have people affirm me and my foolishness is a lot of fun. But yeah, no, I really really love soaps. My favorite thing, and I'm just getting it like obviously because COVID and obviously soaps aren't being COVID safe. There are issues there, but I won't bore you with them. Anyway, like I said, I need to look after myself. My mum has sent me. Do you want to hear the final total of reels my mum has sent me? We have 4, 5, 6. Oh, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 reels. No, 20. 20 reels since I've been on this live. And there will be more. So I need to go answer those reels. I need to sit in that space. I hope you lot are okay. I'll stay for maybe like 2 minutes. You know, like I said, let me know how you're feeling. I'm excited to see you, Elle. Like I said, you know, make yourself 22. I'll make sure that you're very, very looked after. So don't worry. And you don't need to talk. There is no obligation to have your camera on. There's no obligation to have to even participate. You can just be there, and you just even being there. Whether it be actually on the day, if you're too sick to attend, don't feel like you have to. Because like I said, it's going to be, some parts of it are going to be pre-recorded, and I'll send them to you. So do not ever feel like you need to be there, because there's no point. But yeah, like I said, there's no obligation to have your cameras on, no obligations to participate. Just know it's going to be a very accessible night. It's going to be a very accessible night. We're going to have subtitles, and tomorrow I'm today I'm going to send people emails on like how the night's going to go, so you're not like thrown off by random things that are happening. It's going to be a very easy night. Usually my nights are a bit longer, but I do this quite a lot. But just know that it's gonna be quite a chilled one tomorrow, and I'm gonna be in the same sort of setup in my pajamas. You know, I'm gonna be, the chalk in the cheese. What's that phrase I keep thinking of? Chalking the I don't know. Anyway, but we're just going to be chatting. So, like I said, it's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be a good little intro. So I hope you enjoy it. And then there's a couple of other things that are happening tomorrow. My friend Jenny, or Angelica, is putting on another house party. Yeah, and they are words. I'm going to bed. When I start stammering, it's bedtime for me. They're putting on a Halloween house party, and it's going to be same thing. No obligation to have the cameras on, no obligation to participate, but just music. But just know that music is coming. So if you are affected by loud music, just know that this might not be the place for you. And then the day after, there is a movie night that's happening. Again, no obligation to participate. I'm going to be there. So if you don't know, people, you might like this actually. If you're still here, I don't know if you're still here, but you might like that. But have a lovely rest of your evening, everybody. I'm going to put things in the chat so that you have the links there. So let me give you 30 seconds. It's called the CUI. Whoops. There you go. I will send. My mum is still sending me reels. She's still sending me reels. I love my mother, but oh my god. All right, hold on. Copy link. There you go. So that's the link to the Instagram's a bit funky about if you don't have an Instagram account. Let me send the link to the actual ticket. Hold on. Where's the share button? God. Again, if I wasn't a musician, I do not know how we not know how technology works, because I'm not the biggest fan. So this is the Halloween house party that's going on tomorrow. So yeah, come along to that. Share. Holy hell. No? All right, let's do it like this. I need to figure out what to have for dinner. Okay. There you go. I promise. I'm actually a very happy person in real. Well, I said real life. I take that in my language. I'm a very happy person. So, if you have any suggestions about things to talk, let me talk about Easter. Oh, do I do any extenders live? Oh, I did. I did. I might do an extenders live. That would be fun. Oh, that would. See, I don't think anyone would understand anything I'd be saying, but I would have fun. Oh, I might do it. I might do it. We'll see. Oh, that would be fun. All right. Let me do. This is the anti-stand club, and this is their movie night. That's tomorrow night. I'm not working Monday, so it might go on a bit later. But if you are working Monday, that might be something that you need to think about. Let's see if computer registers that I've. Yep. So those are the links. You have Scapegoat's house party. We have the Halloween house party, and then we have the anti-stand club. And come to the Halloween house party as well, because the Halloween house party, like, it's very small. You know, you see so many like the other disabled people, and that might be quite sweet. You know, to might be quite sweet. But yeah, oh, don't worry. Oh, don't worry. Yeah. Oh, thank you. This is like the first live I've done like properly. Like, I've done some with Vagina Jenkins, and that's been a lot of fun. But let me tell you, my friend VJ, they like to plan. So I'm more of a tangent person. But yeah, no, I've always the topics suck, but I will always, like, if you want to see me talk about nonsense, talk about blah 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 for a bit, then I'm also here. But again, I also don't want to ostracize people, because I don't think everybody wants to know about Phil Mitchell. I said I'd be here for an hour, so I'm gonna go. Love you and leave you. Thank you everyone for being here. See you later. All right. Bye everybody.